level 8. You can tell us ways why it's a good idea to listen. Okay. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and smash that like. Okay. All right. You're looking at me, Sarah. Did you want to talk first? All right, give her a big hand, everybody. Woo! Here comes Sarah. I'm leaving you. Would you like me to cover the camera? You good?
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. Okay. All right. I believe in you.
Hi everybody, this is Sarah. Today I'm going to talk about how important to listening in a communication. When we communicate with somebody, I guess listening comes before than speaking, because always when you focus to your ideas in a one-by-one communication, you don't focus to other person's speaking about what. You're always trying to be right, or you're always trying to be better, especially if you're arguing about something. You always try to convince the other person.
Okay.
So, firstly, we need to listen more. He's laughing to me.
Oh, hey, good example. Hey, Kasi.
Yeah, we need to listen more, and then we need to tell our thoughts. And in another way, actually, not about it's not about arguing. It's about if we are doing something wrong, we can change it when we listen to other people. It can be sometimes at work, sometimes in school, or sometimes in family. You can do, everybody can do anything wrong, or everybody can feel like I'm always right. And people has egos. All of us has different egos, so we need to like little press that ego and listen to others, and make right about what are doing. And actually, I have a story about that. It's not my story, but it's like we saw on the news that situation. It's not actually totally about the listening, but okay, I'm gonna start.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, recently in Turkey, there is some protests in the streets. It started with after the mayor of the Istanbul arrested, and then some journalists start to arrest it, and because they're like because they have some their treatment, like they made something wrongly about like corruption or something, but you don't know, people doesn't believe that. It's just fake news about them, because the president wants to arrest all of them from the other sides, something about that. Yeah. And at that moment, the protesters are generally from college students, young people, or actors, artists, journalists, and the photographers always over there. And one day it was a huge event. There was lots of people there, and they start to arrest like the people randomly at that night. Like they were like directly taking them to the police station after the event, like at the ending. And then there was a video we saw on the news. Police, like 5 different police, tried to keep somebody to take the car and to arrest. And the guy was like, wait, no, don't touch me, no, don't touch me. And then he said, I am police too, without uniform.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm like a civil police, like walking around. You know, we have some
undercover,
some
huh?
secrets. Yeah, we have some like without uniform at the, some
gosh.
squares. They're like acting like they're selling something.
That's funny.
Actually, they're checking the area.
Mm.
So they just understood that when they start to listen a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, it was very funny for us and
okay.
everybody. So I just want to share this little story from Turkey.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and so listen more.
All right, yeah, give me everybody, yay! Thanks, Sarah. Okay, very good. Hey, that's, yeah, everybody, it's always hard to get out in front of people and talk, right? It's like, but you know, I have a pretty good range of vocabulary too. Ego, yeah, that's a psychological term, which is kind of like pride. We all have the, you know, self-dignity and stuff. So anyway, yeah, occasionally there were a few grammar things like after the mayor was arrested, you know, they made something wrongly. You don't have to say wrongly, it's just wrong. Anyway, little things like that, but I was able to follow your story really well. Okay. Next person, let me pick on. Tell you what, I'm gonna get this. You want to volunteer? All right. Yeah, sorry. Give me a hand, everybody. Mr. Jose. That's all right. Get it out of the way. You're okay with being on camera, right?
No, it's okay.
Oh, there you go.
I will use.
You got it. That's right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Image rights.
Image rights, there you
Image
go.
rights. Yes.
Do you mind if I use some notes?
Yeah, you can use that. Sure. You can use a board if you want, or whatever you want.
I can speak, right?
I love it.
Sure. So, okay. Good morning, everyone. This is Jose. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about listening. So, this is something we do every day, and we don't really pay attention. And we got to ask a big question. Are we really listening when someone's talking to us? Because listening for me is more about, it's not just about hearing words, and it's more about connecting with people and understanding what they are telling us, right? So there are two types of listening. This is passive listening and active listening. When we talk about passive listening, we just hearing words. We are not paying really attention. And when we're talking about active listening, we are really understanding the meaning that the person is trying to tell us, right? So a couple of reasons why listening is important is because it builds stronger relationships, right? It also helps to improve learning and communication, and it reduces the conflicts. And a couple of tips that I can give to improve your listening skills is to make eye contact with the person when he's talking, right? So we show the speaker that we are engaged with the topic. And another tip will be to avoid interrupting and hear all the thing that he or she has to say, right? And the last one is to use your body language, because sometimes when we are frowning or we are with arms crossed, we don't express like we're really paying attention or listening, really listening. So try to practice more active listening, and that's all.
Okay, that's it. Yeah. Great. Give me a hand, everybody. Yay! All right, nice. I was just gonna say, so like after everybody does their thing, I'll give you some brief feedback there. Oh, hey, Koski. Oh yeah. You have your thing in it? Oh, okay. No, I'm just checking. I'm sorry. I wasn't sure. Oh, okay. Anyway, hey, I like how just generally speaking, that the flow of your English is really smooth. You're able to speak really quickly, and I have no issues with like comprehending you whatsoever. It's this linking seems to come very second nature for you, very easily. I'm saying, right? Yeah. Great way to start the whole thing. You start off with rhetorical questions. Are we really listening? Yeah, that really is a great idea to grab people's attention. I wrote down here, well organized. There's two kinds of listening, this, and it's like, if I were a student taking a class in your note, I could easily take notes. That made it very easy for us to follow because you're well organized. Like two kinds. This, you defined it, passive and active. I like your 3 tips. There are 3 tips for both. We're all grammatically, the grammar was really excellent, yeah. Avoid interrupting, maintain eye contact, watch your body language. Yeah, all of that's like imperative, and all that's, Yeah, that's the way I would have phrased it too if I were saying the same thing you were saying. That was really, really strong. Yeah, okay. Yeah, excellent. Okay. You want to try it there, Koski? I was going to volunteer you, man. You get it out of the way. You want to come up here and do it? Do you want me to cover the camera?
No, it's okay.
Okay, it's all right. Give him a hand, everybody. Give him some confidence. And give him some light. It's hard. It's hard to be up here, right? So, okay. I believe in you. Yes. Yeah, watch him when he talks.
Okay.
All
Hello,
right.
everyone.
Hello, hello.
I'm Koski. I'm going to talk a little bit about how it's important to listening. In my head, I have two things. Why it's important? It's important because when you're listening to somebody speaking, you can understand two things. Why he say and why he can say. When you're listening good, you can understand this thing. Because when somebody tell you something, like example, feel bad. He doesn't tell you what happened. He feel bad, but you can, when you listen how he say you that, maybe you can say, oh, he had a bad day. When you don't listening, maybe he say, oh, friends, how are you? I feel bad. You don't listening, you go around, you don't know how or what happened with him, or he tell you nothing or something like that. You don't know nothing. But when you pay attention, when you talk with him, you can understand what happened with him, and you can understand why he say and what happened. That's it.
Okay. Cool. Give him a hand, everybody. Yeah, give him a hand. Give him a hand. Thank you for sharing your stuff. Cool. Gives me a chance to hear how you guys speak English and stuff. That's good. Main thing I guess you're hearing is that empathy, right? Listen for people's feelings, not just their words, right? Yeah, that's good advice. Okay. Basically, I was able to follow your message pretty easily enough. There was a few ways you're phrasing it. A couple times you're using the infinitive oftentimes. A lot of ing there, a lot more than necessary. Like for example, when you don't listening, right? I would phrase it differently, right? When you don't listening, it would be, I'd phrase it differently, right? It would be when I don't listen. Right?
Yeah.
So after don't, would just be, you're using simple present verb, simple present, so it would just be listen, no ing, right? When you don't listen, whatever. However, ing is great for like right now, when you are, not don't, but are not listening, then you can do that. Okay, so just watch that a few times, right?
Yeah.
You don't know why he say or why he can say. Now I'm not quite sure what you were saying there exactly, but the way you're phrasing, you try to highlight. Yeah, okay. I'm not really sure what you were saying. Why he say or why he can say. I'm not really sure. Yeah. So grammar. There's you got some words, but there's grammar issues, right? You don't know nothing. Those of y'all speak Spanish? Hey, that's fine. You can say that. You don't know nothing. What's wrong? I mean, in English.
You don't you?
Huh?
You know nothing.
Oh, you know nothing. Yeah, there we go. That'd be fine. Yeah, anyway. Those of y'all who speak Spanish, just a little heads up. That was good, right? You don't know nothing. All right. Hey, that's good. You guys are just emphasizing absolutely, right? Nothing, right? Yeah. However, in English, when you have two negatives, they cancel each other out, and basically you're technically saying the positive. You don't know nothing, that means you do know something. Yeah. So it's the opposite meaning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. However, Americans talk like that. Anyway, but for many American ears, that sounds like bad English. But Americans do talk like that, FYI. Okay, no big deal. That's just a little thing. No big deal. Okay, thank you for sharing your story. Okay, let's get somebody else. Okay, Miss Mamaka. Let's give her a big hand, everybody. And give her your eyes. It's hard to speak in front of people, okay? You got this. You got this. I believe in you.
Today I will teach you to be a good listener. people will like you, and people will trust you, and you will have more information just listening people. And here is I have 3 tips to how you can be a good listener. Number 1, try to not interrupt someone when they are talking. And number 2, try to emphasize them. And number 3, if you have anything that you don't know, you can ask. That is 3 tips.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, my story, it is more hard to listen people more close to me, like a close friend and family. When I was in Japan, and I cannot listen carefully for my mom. She always lied, but I said, no mom, I don't care. And then after that, I always regret. Like when the outside is so cold, but I wanna wear the short sleeve.
There you go.
Mom said, no, Mom, you have to have a jacket. But I said, no, I'm okay. And in the school, I was so cold. It's like easy to image for everyone.
That's right.
So
Been there before.
listening, this is why listening is more important. Thank you.
All right. Good. Give me a hand, everybody. Thanks. Appreciate that. Cool. Just gives me a chance to hear how you guys are using it. By the way, well structured. I like at the beginning. It's like you started off well organized. I can tell you're very prepared. You said, I think there are more people who like to speak more than listen, or something. I think that's how you started it, right? That's that's good. It's kind of like a little proverb or something. That's good for grabbing people's attention at the beginning. And I noticed a pretty good grammatical structure if you say like, if you, you will, that's good. It was just whenever you got to past tense, talking about the past, right? You started using simple present tense verbs here and there. But I understood you anyway. Wasn't confused, right? Oh, I like your tips. Try not to interrupt. Try to empathize. Good word. I like that. To feel what other people feel. Try to empathize. If you have anything you don't know, don't be afraid to ask, I think is what you said. Yeah, that's good. If you have anything you don't know, sure, I could probably phrase it that way. When I was in Japan, I cannot. So then when you got to the story, a lot of your verbs were present tense. But other than that, I still follow what you're saying. Yeah, you gotta listen to mom. Bring your coat, right? Sounds good. I go. All right, thanks for sharing. Okay, I'm gonna double check, make sure this is recording. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're looking at me. Do you want to get it out of the way and just do it? Tatiana? Give her a big hand, everybody. Yay, Tatiana. All right. Would you like me to cover the camera? You don't care?
Yeah.
Hey, okay, perfect. Good. We'll leave it there. That's perfect. All right.
Hello everyone.
Hey.
Talk about it's important listening. I'm talking about experience in my life. In 2022, I would like starting business, but in my city where I used to live, I did not humble. Ask the people region about starting new business. This business is jewelry.
That's a hard word. Yeah, maybe that's another way to say it.
Jewelry, yes.
Jewelry. Jewelry. That is a hard word to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jewelry.
Yeah.
I started don't listen the people. Start business. Conclusion. I feel entrepreneur. And start business. But a long time I see about the peoples in region don't like the jewelry. They like clothes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I have a lot of money because no listen the region people. The people region.
Okay.
Okay. I see it's very important the people region when you start in the business because the people maybe like the another thing don't like, for example, my life the region don't like jewelry.
It's better.
They like clothes because this I have a lot of I lost money.
Lost money. There you go. Okay.
Yes, because this I see very important know the people listen about the new start. We always feel humble, or ask the people. For example, the TED the video and hip hop,
Yeah.
starting tomatoes. No ask about the region is the region and no can the tomatoes.
Okay.
Send me this in video in last
Right.
video. Yes.
That's right. It's similar to your story, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it's very important.
Right.
Know the people about it before starting business.
Okay. Cool. All right, give me a hand, everybody. Yay! All right. Woo. Hey, this is perfect. You know, we're all friends here. I like this. Ooh, you all can feel the pressure when you come up in front of people, right? And yeah. It was a little bit nervous, right? Yeah. This is good that y'all are feeling a little bit of the uncomfortable pressure here, because this is a safe place. Imagine if you're in a job interview someday. Oh, that's more is at stake. Yeah, don't worry about it. Anyway, hey, thanks for sharing. Okay, I'll give you a little feedback. All right, I'll tell you what I heard basically was, I like the way you started the story. I said when I was in Brazil back home, I was not humble, right?
Yeah.
Because you had a small business that you were selling jewelry.
Jewelry.
That's hard to say.
Yes.
Jewelry. And I was thinking, maybe there's another way to say that, because that is a hard way to say jewelry. The R's and the L's are really tricky. Accessories, maybe accessories like fashion accessories. Necklaces. There you go. So anytime you're struggling with a word, just say it a different way a long way, right? Jewelry, ladies' necklaces and bracelets and things like that, right? Earrings, right?
Yes.
Go, things like that. So to help clarify. So, basically, the people in the region,
Yes.
You did not care about jewelry.
I do not research the people.
That's better. That's a pretty good
Yes.
sentence. Yeah, I didn't research the people, didn't research the people in that area,
Yes.
right? Okay, gotcha.
But region, like it, don't like it, no like clothes, no jewelry.
Right, gotcha. That's what I heard from you. They prefer to buy clothes, not jewelry. Jewelry.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a hard word to say. I know. Yeah,
Jewelry,
jewelry. Yeah,
jewelry.
jewelry. You want to try it? Everybody say jewelry. Jewelry. Yeah, yeah. It's just fashion accessories. That's another way to say that, maybe. Okay, so I would like I've noticed over the years a lot of folks that speak Portuguese, they add e to things a lot. You know, so I don't know. Am I right? Yeah. I would like you to start a business. No problem there. You said I did not humble.
I did not humble, incorrect?
No. Humble is an adjective, right? Humble is an adjective. You describe you, right? I was not humble.
I wasn't humble.
Yeah,
Yes.
because right. But did, is an action verb. I did not eat lunch, right? Because eat is an action word. So you use did, do, Sorry.
I was humble.
There you go. That's right. So was is it like to be verb to introduce an adjective that's coming? That's what I'm expecting to hear. If you said I did not, that's a great way to start. But the next thing I'm expecting is an action verb like a eat. I did not eat breakfast, or I did not go to school, or something like that. Yeah, that's all it is. So a couple times I noticed that to be versus to do. That's tough, tough to remember. I kind of forget that English is is a strange language. We have to do, we have that do verb, and you guys don't really have that in Spanish, and it's kind of weird that we have that. Okay, anyway, there's a few pronunciation things like video and visio, and I don't know. I have a lot of money because I did not listen to people. Well, you lost a lot of money.
Yes.
I think you said you have a lot of money, which is the opposite meaning that you mean there. Anyway. They like clothes. I lost money. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I was able to follow it. It was just.
I forget the word, teacher.
What's that? What's the word?
For example, when I start in the sentence, I forget the verb, the word. Because I need more practice.
There you go.
Yes, necessary.
I think everybody's kind of been there at one point. I forget that, like, for you guys, talking in English is like having two computer operating systems at the same time, right? Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, and eventually it will feel like riding a bicycle, second nature. Eventually, yeah. Talking with people, it will get smoother and smoother little by little. And you ought to save the video, because I think 5 years from now, you watch the video again and you say, whoa, my English is a lot better now. Yeah, it will be 5 years from now. Yeah, and you watch the video, it's like, oh, my English is a lot better. Yeah, that's the good thing about doing that. Okay, ready, Mr. Romain? Let's give him a hand, everybody. Yay! You're gonna cover camera? You care about that? Okay, here we go. Oh, look at you. You're gonna do great. You got this.
Hello everybody, I hope you are doing well today. Today I'm going to talk about the power of listening.
Good.
Why listening matters. Listening is one of the most valuable skills we can develop. Whether we are students, leaders, or in daily life, listening can help us understand others and avoid misunderstandings. So, unfortunately, nowadays many people listen just to respond rather than to understand the person. For example, I remember a time when I learned how important listening is. A few years ago, I was working on a school project in high school, and one of my teammates kept trying to explain his idea, but I was so focused on my own plane, so I barely paid attention to him at all. So I assumed that my idea was better, and I just pushed for it. So in the end, the project didn't go well, and I realized after that. So I realized that if I had actually listened to him, we could have avoided a lot of problems. So in the end, I was trying to help, but it felt like you weren't even listening. So that moment I realized that listening isn't just about hearing words, it's about valuing the other person's perspective. So this experience taught me that listening isn't passive, it requires effort. So it requires effort.
There you go.
Whether in friendships, at work, or even at school, listening allows us to make better decisions, to avoid conflict, and learn new things. So overall, if we all made an effort to become better listeners, the world would be a much better place. So next time, guys, when someone speaks, let's make sure that we are not just waiting for our turn to talk, but actually trying to listen and really grasp the thoughts of the person in front of us.
Wow.
Thank you for
Give me a hand, everybody. Yeah. Oh, man. Woo. No, I was just going to say, that was really, really excellent. You've got a very effortlessly strong command of grammar. I was just writing down some of these phrases here. It's just really, really good grammar. I mean, like, the project didn't go well. I could imagine even a lot of Americans saying, the project didn't go good, you know, the adjective. You use the adverb, and right, so we could have avoided a lot of trouble. You're using, like, unreal conditional grammar. Anyway, so that was one thing I noticed. Broad vocabulary, really strong grammar. I mean, really well organized, too. And you're like, a lot of the same sort of things that you say in a speech. Like, be sure to, you know, giving advice. And I like how it was very concise. It wasn't too long either. Yeah, I was able to follow your story. Basically, you, anyway. So, native language, what is it again?
French.
French it is, yeah, okay. Interesting. In Spanish, you guys sometimes say effort, right?
Yeah.
Right, you do too, right? I think you caught yourself, because the second time you said effort.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I noticed that. Maybe you looked at my face and said, wait, he made a face when I said that word. I'm going to change it. That's a real mark of fluency. When you hear your own voice in the moment, say, wait a second. Oh, wait, no, it's that. Yeah, and then even I do that. In native, you know, I start speaking and I say something and it doesn't quite sound right, and I change it in the moment. So anyway, we say, yeah, everybody say effort. Effort, yeah, and those of y'all speak Spanish is effort. Nah, I'm imagining you're saying something else. Okay. That was really, really good. Yeah, so, okay. Ooh, almost everybody over here looking at me. Okay, you want to go next, Mr. Wellbeing? Give him a hand, everybody. Yes. Woo, give him a hand. We're all friends here. We're going to help each other, support each other. All right. All right.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Wonbi. I'm going to tell about how much important is listening. First, I think most of people wanted to talk their own stories. So if you listen very well, so I think they're gonna really like you. And also, I think if you do not listen very well to your opponent's stories, so I think there is not respect. So we should keep trying to understand you should keep trying to understand what is their story and then what is their mind. So yeah. What did I tell you? No, actually, one more again.
Okay. Okay.
If you do not listen very well, so there is no respect, and then we should keep trying to understand 100% their mind.
Much better. Yeah.
Okay. And then also, for example, in the group, so if you listen very well, you can understand their whole opinions, and then you can achieve your goal with your team. Okay. And my example, when I was young, I have a lot of friends in Korea. It was very hard time to me. So I have so many bad things in one day. So I want to I want to talk about that with my friends, but they didn't listen very well. So I was so disappointed about that, and then after that day, I didn't see them, and so that much the listening is very important. Not only listening. So when you do listen to them, so you should show them how to listen. So like, if you just look around, or if you look at the phone, and if you just talk with the other person, so that is not listening very well. So one of the very listen very well is show how to listen. That's it.
Okay, thanks, Wolven. 1 me now. Give me a hand, everybody. Yeah, appreciate it. Yes, that's open your eyes. Yeah. That would also count today, right? You know, try to avoid looking at your phone. Hey, man, I can tell you, very well organized. Like I said, so one thing I noticed that when you started telling your story about one day I had a really bad day, and I wanted to tell all my friends about it, but they didn't really want to listen to me, and so you basically felt pretty lonely, and you needed somebody to talk to about it, right? Yeah, that's what you were saying. When you started talking about that story, and I think your grammar got so much more effortless, and it was good. It was all the things were in past tense, and it's like the other parts. Yeah, whenever you had stuff prepared, I noticed like more small mistakes here and there. But that story, things started to get a little more relaxed and smooth, and the way you phrased it was really strong during your story. Yeah, when you started talking about your friends, when you stopped talking emotional, that hits you here. So I suspect, yeah, English grammar and English words come pretty natural for you. It's just maybe, yeah. Let's see. I like your range of vocabulary. You may not know what your opponents, maybe like your enemies, the people that disagree with you. Yeah, you may not know what they, what they're talking about. And I think at one point you wanted to phrase something again. You said one more again, right? Yeah. I usually say one more time. Yeah, one more time. Let me try that again. And the second time was much better. Yeah. Let's see. You achieve your goal. I can't remember why I wrote that down. Anyway, most people want to talk their own stories. Usually I say most people want to tell their own stories. Yeah. English is weird. We got words tell, say, speak. And some of them work and some of them don't work in certain situations. But anyway, I was able to follow your story really well. That was good. Anyway, just different words here and there, and but the verb tenses were good. So you want to try it now? Oh, so you guys are partners, right? Okay, cool. We'll save it for later on then. You're looking at me. Do you want to go, Mr. Punda? Yeah. All right, cool. You want me to cover the camera? Is that right?
That's fine.
Okay, good. Everyone, give him a hand. Give him some confidence.
Good morning.
Oh, all right.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm the teacher today. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about how listening is important. Then I'm gonna talk about 6 points important for listening. So, okay, right?
Sure. Good work. Yeah.
I got be understanding. Yeah.
You got it. No problem.
Be understanding. I got so respect. So respect. Avoid mistake. Avoid mistakes. How to improve your relationship. How to improve relationship. Encourage language. Encourage language.
understanding can look like you can avoid misunderstanding. Like when you talk with someone, and if you don't listen, you can't understand it. So you can understand your partner. Then when you show respect, like can be when someone talks to you, example your father, your mother, or your brother talk with you. If you listen, you show respect.
Yeah.
Avoid mistake. Avoid mistake. It's similar like when you listen and you don't reply, you avoid mistake to get a deal with someone. Improve relationship. When you talk with your husband, your wife, and your relationship, they can improve
Yeah.
your marriage to get more life in your relationship.
Yeah.
Encourage language. So the same thing we talk about. To talk before listening. To talk before listening.
Yeah.
So that's everything. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Mundo. Appreciate you sharing. Yeah. Good, good. Like I said, yes. Hey, that's a good idea. Helps us follow what you're trying to say, laying it out there in 5 points. And if you ever do a public speaking again, it's kind of, laying it out there and writing it out helps us follow. All right. So let's see. I can't remember. Did you tell a story or an anecdote? I can't remember. Did you? Is it about the? Oh, that's okay. No problem. I know there's a few people who didn't. Okay. You know what? Good choice of words. Sometimes there's ideas may have been cut short a little bit. Pronunciation occasionally is an issue, right? Build. The LD sound together. Okay, everybody say build understanding. Build understanding. Build. It sounded a little bit like you said beer, like cerveza, right? You know what I'm saying? A beer. Yeah. It's not, so I know why that's happening is L sound. The L sound with the D together. It just felt more natural to have an R come after that. So beer. That's what I kind of heard you say. But beer understanding, build understanding. That's harder to say together. So anyway, show respect. Yeah, the very first time you said it, I heard you say so respect. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Is that something you notice sometimes? Is get that backwards sometimes?
Show respect.
Show, yeah. Later on, you did say it right.
Yeah.
But maybe you might have a habit of occasionally saying, she sells seashells on the seashore. The S and the SH up occasionally. I don't know. Anyway, the rest of it was great. Avoid mistakes. You beautifully pronounced that. Yeah. How to improve your relationships. Sounds like these are 5 reasons to be a good listener, right?
Yeah.
How to improve your relationship. Well, I probably would phrase it differently. It's like you should be a good listener because it might improve your relationships, right?
Yeah.
Instead of how to. Anyway, that's okay. But you pronounced it really well. Yeah. Encourage. Everybody say encourage.
Encourage.
Yeah, you know what? It's that R sound again. I heard a little bit of a different sound. I heard koi or something. Koi. But it has to have a hard R in there. Encourage. That's what my American accent is. Yeah, everybody say encourage. Yeah.
Encourage.
So that, you know what? For you, pronunciation R. R's sometimes are like especially the hard R one. Anyway, sound like something else occasionally. When you listen and don't apply, I'm not sure what else you're saying there, but anyway, just pronunciation here and there. Other than that, it was good ideas. All right, let's pick on somebody else here. Did you two want to go next? Huh? Okay. Would you prefer that I cover the camera? Yes. No. Oh wait, what are you doing? Oh. I thought he was just walking around. God, I need to stretch my legs. Oh, you're going. Okay. Never mind. You're okay to be on camera? Never mind. Okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. All right. Yeah? Yes. Go for it.
Hello.
Hello,
Ladies
hello.
and gentlemen, I am Marciano, so yeah, Marciano. So I'm coming to explain why listening and speaking is very important when you talk to someone. So listening is very important because when you listen to someone when speaking with you, so that means you have a good ability to understand what he wanna tell you. So speaking is important too because when someone is speaking with you, he needs to speak very well to you understand what he said. Because when someone doesn't speak good, so you can understand him better.
Okay.
So to understand someone very well, you need to you need to uh, you need to understand someone very well. For me, has too many things I want to tell you. So when someone is speaking with you, you need to have eye contact with him because the communication between two people, the communication between two people is very important. Not only two people. For example, the politician. When the politician people speak with a population, so it's different when two people they are speaking. The the other thing is you need to pay attention. So attention is very important when you speak with someone, when someone speaks with you. Attention is very important. Yeah. Because if you don't pay attention when someone speaks with you, so maybe in the future you wanna confuse what is the main idea he want to tell you. The other thing is you need to avoid interruption. So when someone speaks with you, for example, here in class, when, for example, now I'm speaking, I'm a teacher, something like that. So when I see Segismundo on the phone, I say, hey, come on, man, bro, you need to pay attention. So that is very important. Why? Because the truth, come on, man. So if you don't pay attention when someone is speaking with you, so you don't keep it the main idea what they want to tell you.
Yeah.
So so in the fact, listening and speaking, there are two words, they are very important to understand someone when speak with you. Thank you.
Oh, okay. That's very nice. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you sharing that, Ray. All right, I gotta say, all right. Oh, I'll give you some feedback. Thanks for, hey, you know, that last little part, first thing that came to my mind is like, I like, good idea, interacting with the audience, like that guy on his phone over there, you know, that's a good way of grabbing people's attention. Public speaking, you wanna like, interact with the audience like that. That's a good way to grab people's attention, yeah. You know what I noticed? Yeah, there's a lot of phrases you were phrasing, you know, more or less the same way I would. I like, you need to have eye contact. Yeah, that's the way I phrase it, eye contact, right? Communication between two, well, there's a few phrases that are occasionally were phrased differently than the way I might phrase it. But the main thing I noticed is you're repeating yourself a lot of the same words again, which is an effective way to communicate to people. But I would suggest, getting more vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, different ways to say the same thing. I think for the most part, I was able to follow your story. It's just, well, later on when you get on to TOEFL, for example, they count off points for repeating yourself often. So a lot of the same phrases you said again, which, not a problem. It's just as a listener in the audience, I tend to notice that. I tend to notice that. It's like, oh, that may be distracting and to FYI, but I still was able to follow what you're saying. And eventually, the more often you speak, the more smooth it will get, and smooth the delivery. Communication between two people. When the politicians are people. You don't have to say politician people. That's the same thing. Yeah. It's different between when two people they are speaking. Well, I would phrase it. It's different when two people are speaking. You don't have to say they are speaking. So that's a minor thing, not a big deal. Saying? Okay. In the future, you want to confuse what is the main. So I'm not really sure what you were saying there. Yeah, I think that was kind of some broken grammar. I didn't really know what you're saying, but on the whole, that was good. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. It was well organized and stuff. Okay. More vocabulary that'll help a little bit. Okay, you ladies want to go? You want to cover the camera? Okay, yes. All right, give them a hand. Give them some confidence, ladies and gentlemen. It's these two anonymous ladies. I'm not going to tell you internet who they are. It's
Don't cry, don't cry.
okay. Don't cry. All right. Anytime you like. Yeah.
Good afternoon, class and study teacher. So today we are here to present our topic. It's about an up-to-date story. It's our own story. And my name is Zanab, and here's my group member, and her name is Aishwarya. So today we are talking about the listening and how important something listening. So listening is an important skill that can benefit everyone in their personal and social life or in professional life. So listening is a skill. Listening is a skill, and often. In fact, listening often always be more powerful than speaking. So our story's thesis statement is how listening can help everyone in their life and help us to be a better listener and in their professional life. So how to be a better listener? I have some points for this, and it includes 4 points.
Okay.
The one is active listening. And the second is empathy, and the third one is ask questions, and fourth is patience. So active listening includes try to focus on the speaker without distraction, and empathy includes try to understand the emotions and feelings behind the words, and the third one is ask questions. That includes you have to ask questions by showing them you are listening to the speaker's conversation or speech or and the fourth one is patience, and try to be patient, because when you try to be patient, it helps people to explain their thoughts and feelings without feeling rushed. So we have our own story. So right now, actually, you can tell your story.
Basically, so we were discussing yesterday about an event that happened with me. I had been on a call with a call center representative, and I was sharing my concerns that I'm facing some issues in my Wi-Fi bandwidth, and she was. I was constantly speaking, and I felt like she's not responding. And when I asked her if she was listening to me or not, she responded like, yeah, that's interesting. So I was amazed because that made me realize that she was not listening. So a pretty similar example of that is a friend who goes to work and she wants some empathy from another friend, and she's sharing her work issues with her, that I'm overwhelmed with the work I'm doing. But the friend was on the phone and she was not listening. So she was like, yeah, you are doing a great job. So that made her realize that she was not an active listener. So this story basically manifests that it manifests the importance of active listening. If you are not an active listener, it definitely affects your relationships. And yeah.
So now I can conclude the whole story. So the conclude that listening is a powerful skill that can improve our communication, resolve conflicts, and strengthen the relationships. As we have seen from both TED Talks and our own story, the effective listening can help us be a better leaders or collaborators. So that's my whole conclusion that I find out from a story. And that's all. And thank you for listening, guys. And I hope you all take this lesson to heart and be practicing in your social and things.
Okay, well done, ladies. Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, I'll put the camera back on. All right, put the camera back on. Oh boy, y'all are a good team. Yeah, that's good. You're well organized. I'll do this part, and then you'll do this part. So I was able to seem very well organized, and I was impressed that you don't even have any notes with you, and you were just like, first it's this, and second it's this, and you memorized all that. That's hard to remember. I don't think I could do that. You know, to memorize those key points and then define them one at a time. The flow to your English was really excellent. I think I was able to follow you really easily. I didn't really hear any major issues with the way you phrased anything, Zanab. So when you told your story, I was impressed by how your complex grammar. You're using past perfect. Whoa! I had been a employee at a call center, right? Your customer service, is that what it is?
I had been on call with a customer service.
That's right. You were asking for him.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, I figured. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. So, and they weren't listening. They just said, "Ooh, that's very interesting." That's right. I remember you followed that. I was constantly speaking, and at some point I stopped, and then she said, "Oh, I think that's really interesting," and that indicated to you didn't hear a word I said, right? Did you? Yeah. I've been there, and your story pretty effortlessly brought to mind what you were going through, and there's a lot of opportunities for me to misunderstand what you're saying, but I didn't. I understood what you said. It was really well phrased. And I like your second story. It sounded like from your grammar that it was like a hypothetical, not a real thing. Like, let's say a friend, for example, goes to, there you go, that's what I was hearing from you. Let's say a friend goes to work and she's feeling very depressed, and her friend is, I like this what you said. She was like, and then you quoted something. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, using the word like to introduce a quote, that's what Americans do all the time. She was like, I don't know, whatever you said, yeah. Manifestly important. That's some good vocabulary. Both of y'all did a great job. Yeah, great job. Yeah, you know what? Okay, how are y'all doing, y'all? Okay, is that everybody on that side of the room? And he's going to go. Ms. Lee's coming up next. Do you want me to cover the camera? You don't care? Okay, no problem. Yeah, give her a hand. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right. Give me some confidence. I believe in you. All right.
Hello, everyone. Listening is important because it helps us understand others better and communicate effectively and build strong connections. I had experience and I realized how listening is important through my experience. A few months ago, my daughter, who is in 8th grade, was feeling stressed about her school and grades. Every day she would tell me about her test and how much she worried about keeping up. When I saw how overwhelmed she was, I felt disappointed that school was too stressful for her. At first, I wanted to give her advice right away, help you to understand that difficulties are a normal part of learning and growing. The conversation brought us closer and strengthened our bond. And also I got to know her on a deeper level. And also I found this idea from the book, which is Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. He explains that listening is not only improves relationships but also helps manage emotions and resolve conflicts. When we listen carefully, we can understand people more deeply and handle difficult situations more effectively. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, that's a good lead. That was great. Cool. Really, I mean, I'm a really strong man of storytelling. A lot of wide range of vocabulary. Every day, one thing I wrote down here, I was kind of impressed with it. My daughter, every day she would tell me about her, frustrations. And what I noticed in there is that you're using the word would to mean like, not hypothetical, but you can use it just like you did, meaning like something that happens regularly. When I was a kid, I would go to the, swimming pool, right? Not a hypothetical sense, because usually we say it that way. If I had $1 million, I would. That's hypothetical. That's an imaginary situation. But she phrased it like every day. She would come home. She would come home, right? Anyway, I noticed that. I was like, that's that Americans do talk that way, and you phrased it. That's just impressive. All right, overwhelmed. School was too stressed for her. Well, school is stressful, and she's stressed. But other than that. I understood her on a deeper level. What a great idiom. Yeah, that's a great one, on a deeper level. And this is the first one where someone's citing some research. What? From a book? Oh, look at you. From the book called Emotional Intelligence by so-and-so, and then quoting something. Using research and to citation to emphasize your point. That's really strong. Yeah, thanks, Ms. Lee. All right. Well, let me give you that. Okay. All right, you ready to go, Mr. Hold on. Did I say your name right? Okay, give me a hand, everybody. Yeah. Hang in there, y'all. Woo. I know it's been a long week. You can do it. You want me to cover the camera? You don't care. No. Yeah, all right, great.
Teacher, something happened.
No. I might be running out of battery.
My battery's down.
Yeah, 20% battery. Okay, gotta speak real fast before the battery goes down. All right. It's a race against time.
About 5 minutes.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
Good morning.
For those who don't know me, my name is Obam, and today I would like to talk about a topic that I think is really, really, really important, because listening is not only an academic topic, but also a daily life topic. Because every day we interact with people, and on the future we're gonna do so many things like work and something like that. So that it's important for us to know a lot about listening, because personally I think listening comes first every day in our relationship. Even a baby, for example, before he starts talking, he starts listening. If we don't really listening to people, we're gonna do sometime or off topic. And if we are in front of people and we do off topic, for some people it can be, or for us, it can be very difficult, because some people can think that we are stupid or we have difficulties to understand. So that's why for me personally, I think listening comes first. And about listening, I'm going to talk about so many points. First of all, I'm going to talk about listening can trigger a better understanding. Why is it important to have a better understanding? Because better understanding can help us to avoid misunderstanding and confusion. For example, if we take a test, for example, because I suppose we're supposed to go to university or in the college or something like that, and sometimes when we receive a test, the teacher can give some advice, and if we don't really get that advice, we can miss the test only because that advice. Another point is listening helps us to improve our relationship or learning and something like that. Because whether in class, in our job, or outside, it's important to listening. Because when we interact with people, when we listening them, that help us to grow up intellectually. For example, in classroom, when the teacher talks, we have to be focused about what he said. The more we get him, the better we grow intellectually. Another point is listening can help us to resolve some effective problem. Sometimes two people can get an issue simple because there are a kind of misunderstanding. So it's important for us to listen before talking. Another point that I really talk about is about listening is enhance love and empathy. For example, everybody wants to be listening. For example, we have some friend, and as a friend, it's important to share some feelings. And if we are not able to listen each other, it's going to be, we can seem so rude.
Good.
About this specific topic, I'm going to share with you my own story. When I was back home, I was with my girl. I got a girl. I really loved her. And one day, I really love her. And one day she told me that you are not the beautifulest guys that I meet on my life, but you are by far the one that I really love.
Oh.
I said, why you say that? She said, because the difference between you and them is the fact that whenever I have a problem, you always hear, you always give me your ears, understand what I'm trying to say, and you try to give me some advice. And I really love her. Before, I got so many relationships, but with those guys, it was difficult to share some feelings, some experience. But with you, it's really different. And I realized that is what I really like, what I really look for, but I never found it. But now I really like this part of you. So I just want to thank you for the fact that you are always close to me. You are always, you always share your time with me, and you always try to hear what I'm trying to say, even if what I'm trying to say seems stupid or something like that. But you are always here for me, and I really like it. Thank you for sharing with me my feeling about so many things in my life. So this experience touched me deeply, and I realized that I know we are not talking about love, but we are talking about listening. I really realized that listening can impact so many things around us, like love and relationship. And sometimes we think that maybe we have a wrong idea about people. We can think that maybe I'm with a lady, the only thing that ladies like is maybe money, or but maybe she just needs so many small things that seem very small, very small. Yes. And another thing is about stronger relationship. Yeah, that's it. And in conclusion, communication, I think personally, I think communication is the key that improves our common relationship in our daily day, in our life. And listening is very important to when you are with people, you know, because everybody wants to be listening, listening, you know, and it's important for us to listening before talking, because if we don't listening before talking, it's going to be an issue for us. That's it.
Thank you. All right. Give me a hand, everybody. Yeah, all right. What was I gonna say? Okay, all right, so I'll give you some feedback here. Okay. Boy, you prepared a lot. You prepared, first of all, I gotta say, hey, thank you for being vulnerable. You were telling a story about your a love you had before, and I could tell as you were telling the story, it was very, as they say in America, heartfelt. You know, and being kind of emotional and vulnerable. So, okay, that really helps to connect with the audience. People who are able to want to lean in. It's like, oh, let me hear about this story about a love you had and stuff. That's the part that I grabbed onto the most, etc. Okay. I like the beginning. It's an academic topic. It's a daily life topic. I like how you use daily life as an adjective. Same thing happened when I was listening to Koski, though. I mean, it's like listening, ing, right? You were using the ing form a lot more than I normally do. If we really don't listening, you're meaning simple present tense all the time. So if we really don't listen, try to minimize the many times you use ing. Because even a couple times you were saying it, it's like, no, let me try to phrase it again, and you phrase it.
Even in my mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
I noticed that as you were talking, it's like, wait, and each time wasn't quite right. But I like that you caught yourself, and you're trying to phrase it in such a way. Anyway, I like this. I like that you said "for me," which means in my opinion. That's a good expression. Listening can trigger. Now, I think you phrased it a little slightly different. You pronounced it a little differently. Trigger, I think, right? Trigger. Yeah, trigger is like means to cause, right? Trigger is that little thing on your gun. Yeah. Trigger me. Yeah. So that pronunciation there. Why is it important? That's a great rhetorical question. Grabs people's attention. Why is this important? Then you answered your question. It's important to listening. Well, no, it's important to listen. Too many ings. Okay. When we listening them, when we listen to them, too many ings, but it's important to share. When I was home, this is when you got into the story about your girlfriend. Yeah, that was a beautiful story, man. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Folks, you all have a French background. I guess y'all drop the H sounds a lot, right? You go, when I was home, I think is what you said, right? Home. Yeah, a little H sound at the beginning sometimes, right? And here, here in English, some words that begin with H are also silent. Like this class is 2 hours, not 2 hours, right? But so it's kind of weird. Honest, not honest. It's kind of weird. Sometimes we say the H, sometimes we don't. I guess y'all say it differently, right? You are not the beautifulest guy. Most beautiful. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. S. Whenever you would make the superlative, you are not the EST. Something like you are not the. Well, let's just say this: richest. Okay, now that's fine, because you know what I'm about to say. Yeah. Because that's a single syllable, right? Beautiful is too many syllables, so it can't say beautifulest. Yeah, you got to say most beautiful. Yeah, we might do a lesson about that. When do we use most? When do we use the EST? Because it's for big adjectives. Most beautiful is what you were trying to say. You're not the most beautiful guy I've ever met, right? Beautiful is usually for women, but I know what you mean. Yeah, the most handsome guy, right? Is that what you meant? Sure, but you listen to me. You're a good friend, right? I know what you meant. That's good. That's what you were trying to say, yeah? I like it. Bada boom, bada boom. Okay, thanks for sharing, Bob. Appreciate you, man. Okay, oh man, hang in there, Miss Ellie. We can do this. Hang in there, y'all. I know the weekend is so close. It's almost here. Are we out of battery yet? Okay, we're not out of battery yet. Okay. Do you care if I videotape you? Okay. All right. Yay!
Hello, this is Ellie. Today I want to talk about the importance of listening. Listening more than just staying quiet while someone else speaks. It's about trying to understand their thoughts, feelings, and experiences. And good listening help us build stronger relationships, learn new things, and avoid problems. Let me share a short story from my own life.
Very good.
Sometimes when my parents give me advice, I don't agree with them right away. And in the past, I would interrupt or stop paying attention because I thought they didn't understand me.
Good.
But one day I decided to listen to why they were saying. They told me about some mistakes they made when they were younger and how they wanted to help me avoid the same problems.
Good.
When I listened closely, I realized they were speaking from love and experience, not just trying to control me.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I noticed our relationship improved, and I would less, and they felt more respect. And I learned that they actually had some good advice.
Mm-hmm.
And this taught me that listening helps us grow and connect with others. And it shows respect and help avoid misunderstandings.
Good.
Even if we don't always, even if we
Wow. Okay, give her a hand, everybody. Yeah. What was I say? Really, really a broad vocabulary you're demonstrating there. I can tell you're actually being extra careful with the way you're phrasing it. Yeah, arrangement of words, even past tense and present tense verbs were all really strong there, and I like how you're being extra careful with the way you're phrasing it. So is this word? Only one little word. I noticed there's quit, and then there's quiet. Right. Yeah. Very very similar. Right. Yeah. Meaning I need to be quiet and listen. That's what you're trying to say. Yeah. Yeah. Let's say it together. Everybody say quit. Quiet. Yeah. Anyway, they look very similar. So yeah, I probably saw that word in your notes, and then yeah, sure, that happens. Alrighty. Other than that, that was great. Last person coming up to the big stage. You know her is the lady over there. Let's give her a big hand. It's Miriam, everybody. Oh my God! It's Miriam. Oh no! Do that? No. See if we can go longer than see if we can go longer than him. Yeah. We got 20 minutes. Technically, we've done 20 minutes.
Hello, my name is Media, and I'm gonna talk about why it's good to listen. So the first thing comes in my mind is like you able to put yourself in people's shoes and to understand a lot of situations. Because when I was a kid, my mom taught me about the best way to live the life. It's two things, is reading and listen. Because this can open doors for you to understand the world and the people. So since this, my friends always like acknowledge me.
Good.
Because they say I can listen very well. And sometimes it's kind of, I don't know if I can put like, it's kind of hobby for me.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I like listen old people because they have a lot of stories to share, and I like to listen. And when I was in college, I have a history teacher, and she always say for us, we have to listen and learn about the past so we don't repeat the same mistake they did in the future.
Ooh, pretty good.
So this is very important, and I put into my life.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes we are not empathic with another person. For example, when somebody come to you and want to share a story about a bad day or a bad situation, and you try help the people with another bad situation you have experienced. So, and the conclusion is sometimes nobody has a good experience to talk about themselves, and sometimes nobody has a good
Arguments? Good reasons, maybe?
yes, a good reasons. So, in the conclusion, nobody will understand nobody.
Yeah.
And my little anecdote.
There you go.
It's very funny and sad at the same time because it's about me, my experience when I was a kid. And I have a scar here because I did not listen to my mom. When I was a kid, I was very stubborn.
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 Not stubborn. Stubborn.
Stubborn.
That's okay. We'll work on it.
And I did not listen to her, and she said, Media, do not go on the tree and climb the tree because my favorite fruit when I was kid was guava.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not listen her, and I went there and I climbed the tree, and I fell,
Oh boy.
and I have this scar here. After
Did you
sure.
want to? Oh, you want to? Put this on? Okay, it's okay. I'm not. Okay. I see. Wow.
It was a big one.
How old were you?
I think 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so this is a big lesson for me and my history story.
Yeah.
About I had to listen.
Yeah.
And I think for everybody in this room, it's very good, and we have to listen so much because we learning another language. So I think my advice for everybody is listen, because it's very important. Sometimes, I don't know if I say this, but sometimes it's more important than grammar, because when you listen, you can understand. Sometimes you don't understand the grammar, but you understand the context.
Yeah, that's right. That's what
Because you listen very well. So
cool.
That's it.
Hey, awesome. Yay, give me a hand, everybody. All right. Cool. Give her a hand. All right. So, tell you what, I'll give you some feedback like I've been doing for everybody there. Hey, great story. Oh, yeah, again, very anecdote. I like the anecdote. That was about you loved guava. That was your favorite. That's a great favorite food to have for a kid. You know, usually kids like sugary things, but that's healthy. All right. You've got actually several pretty good strong handle on idioms. Actually, I heard you insert them. The first thing that comes to my mind, or I think you said the first thing that comes in my mind, but anyway, what was it here? Empathic. First of all, I wrote that down. Yeah, that's the adjective form of empathy. Excellent. That's not a lot of Americans know empathic. Yeah, empathy. Right. So like I noticed you inserted the word acknowledged into your. Did you? Yeah. And I gotta acknowledge this. You used the word grasp in your presentation. Yeah, Funda. Yeah, you remember. Yeah. Okay. I want to acknowledge that because you put some vocabulary in there. Okay. Some of y'all did the same thing. I think the main thing, I was able to follow. Hey, I like this phrase. It's funny. Here's a story. It's funny and sad at the same time. That's exactly the way I would phrase it. If I were about to introduce your story, that's exactly the way I would say it. So prepositions, a little different than I do. I think that's the main thing. I mean, the verb tenses were really strong. I like listen old people. I like to listen to old people. There's some twos missing in there, right? Prepositions. That's what I'm missing here, right? All right. First thing that comes in my mind. Well, I usually say the first thing that comes to my mind. The best way to live the life. Well, I think that's something to do with Spanish, right? It's not the los, all over the best way to live life. No the there, right? I like this idiom here. This can open doors. That's a great idiom. That's exactly the way to phrase it. You try help them. Well, you try to help them. So that's the main thing I noticed. Different prepositions, but other than that, it didn't confuse me at all. Hey, y'all. I'll send this to y'all as an email a little bit later on. But I'm going to go ahead and end it here.